In the previous music theory video I made, you were asked to figure out a chord, and it ended up being an augmented chord. I think it was an F augmented chord, F, A, and then C sharp. And in that video, I did make this comment about how in certain versions of minor, you'll get an augmented chord. And Anthony K had a good question. He asked me to explain in more detail how that works. So I'm going to do that here because I think it's a good question. So what you have on your screen are three different versions of the minor scale. The top one there is natural minor. The second one is harmonic minor. You'll notice that you have a G sharp there instead of G natural. And then the bottom one is melodic minor, and you have an F sharp and a G sharp. And so here's what happens. In harmonic minor, this one here where we're changing one of the notes, we have a raised 7th scale degree where the composer will use this version of the minor scale to build harmony or to build chords. The bottom one here, melodic minor, composers use to write melodies, okay? And when the notes are ascending, typically they'll raise the 6th and 7th scale degrees, and then when the scale descends, they'll go back to natural minor. So in melodic minor, you have a changing. The scale is actually changing, going up and down. So these are the three typical or most commonly used types of minor scales, and we can use these scales, the notes of them, to build chords just like we would for major. So if we're using the natural minor scale, the one chord would be a minor chord because we have the notes A, C, and E. We're just skipping every other letter name, we're stacking thirds. The 2 chord, B, D, F, that's a diminished chord. The 3 chord ends up being a major chord, C, E, G. The 4 chord is minor. The 5 chord is also minor. The 6 chord is major, F, A, C. And the 7 chord ends up being major as well, G, B, D. Okay? So that's for natural minor. Now, in harmonic minor, when we change one of these notes, now some of the chords are going to change, and this is where we get the augmented chord. If you look at your 3 chords, C, E, and now it's G sharp. So that is 2 stacked major thirds, and so this is where we get an augmented chord. C, E, G sharp is augmented, so the 3 chord in harmonic minor, using the harmonic minor version of the scale, we get an augmented chord. Also, if they were using the melodic version of the scale, ascending, you'd still have that C, E, G sharp thing happening. So this chord here would also be augmented, the 3 chord, okay? So this is what I was referring to in the previous video, that in some versions of minor, you get an augmented chord. If it's natural minor, you don't, it's a major chord. But in harmonic minor, and also if you're using the ascending portion of melodic minor, you would also get this augmented thing happening. And the augmented chord is not used as much. It's very dissonant, and we don't have it very much when we're building chords diatonically using the notes of scales. So I hope that makes sense. Feel free to leave me a question or comment, and I will see you in the next video.